Today on our Retro View, we take a look at Survivor Series 2016 Raw vs. Smackdown Men's Eliminator match. And we get a Shield reunion.
And you won't believe who got a killer spear from Roman Reigns.
And James Ellsworth? Who is this guy? He's got no chin. All that and more in this week's episode of Grapple-Sauce. Hit it, Dave. Hey y'all, Chandler here. What's going on? We're all out of sorts, guys.
Hey, this guy's Chad. God, I hate it when he goes first.
Hey, the Daver here. Wow, weird.
Welcome to a Retro View, guys. Woo! Yeah, we're finally back. It took a while. I think we've only done, this is our third one, because we did WCW Halloween Havoc 97.
Yeah.
We did the Cody versus Dustin match where we went to matches only. This is our third one where we review the 2016 Men's Elimination 5-on-5 Traditional Survivor Series match. Dave said it way better, and he doesn't even like this guy. He didn't even like this. I'm kidding. He liked the match. I'm joking.
He did.
But yeah, I picked this one because this is when I was watching WWE, like every pay-per-view, every Raw, every SmackDown. And I loved this. I loved going into the event. I was pretty excited. But I was like, whatever. It's going to be a 5-on-5 match. But I just thought this was an hour-long epic. Fun fact, this was the first ever 4-hour Survivor Series. So they were just trying to bump up the length. And now they're all 3 hours again. So womp womp. But you guys have anything you want to say before we start getting into the match?
Yeah, this was around the time when I got back into wrestling. It's weird. So, bit of backstory. I used to listen to Steven Larson when they were a video game podcast. Then things happened in their personal lives and they made the transition into wrestling. And I was like, oh, this sounds kind of cool. And then I got back into wrestling, and that was right around the time I was getting into it. Side note, I also just rolled right into the 2017 one.
Not as good.
Not as good. Triple H pulled out the golden shovel one last time.
I know, and he buried all his NXT boys. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Kurt Angle, you're buried. Shane McMahon, you're buried. Braun Strowman, not so much.
Yeah. How'd you feel about the match, Dave?
It kind of didn't pick up for me until Shane O'Mac started doing all his amazing crazy spots. But loved it. I was thoroughly sports entertained. Shane O'Mac, MVP of the match. Loved what he did. I had never seen a full all the way through Bray Wyatt match. I've never seen a full all the way through Shane McMahon match, Braun Strowman. Never seen a full Roman Reigns match or Kevin Owens. So this was, the only people left, AJ Styles. I watched him in TNA, so I've seen his matches. Dean Ambrose, obviously, John Moxley, Chris Jericho from AEW. My first Seth Rollins match was Money in the Bank against Damian Priest last weekend. And it was really great. I didn't know what to expect going into it. I didn't know why, Chandler, you wanted to pick it. In fact, why did you pick it? Explain.
It's just one of my favorite all-time matches. Like, I know it's not the best, but it's just like sports entertainment nonsense through and through. And again, this is when I was watching, and this is like a lot of my favorite wrestlers at the time, because I loved Styles, I loved Dean Ambrose, I liked Chris Jericho a lot back then, I liked Kevin Owens a lot back then. I liked previous iterations of Seth Rollins. I didn't really care about this Seth Rollins, but I liked him enough to still enjoy him. And then Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. It's an odd pair, but I liked them together too. I liked even Luke Harper showing up at the end. I thought that was a fun inclusion. So
that was a great story right up until that WrestleMania match.
This should have been a triple threat. Like, Luke Harper was in the feud the entire time, and they were just like, we're not gonna have him in it.
Yeah, instead we're gonna have like projectors and shit.
That was awful.
So bad.
Dave, so in case you didn't know, at WrestleMania 33, it was Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt for the WWE title. Bray was the champ. Randy Orton had won the Royal Rumble. And for the spookiness of the match, they just projected like maggots on the mat sometimes. And it looked really dumb and really bad. And then Randy Orton won.
Yeah.
Fun
And
fact.
Randy Orton was the face of that feud too, and he also burned Bray Wyatt's house down.
Mm-hmm.
The arsonist was the face. It was a weird feud.
Does anyone know who beat Randy Orton for that WWE title?
Oh no.
Lashley.
Who?
Lashley.
I don't think he was in WWE at that time. I think he was still in TNA.
Huh.
I don't think you'll get it.
No, it wasn't Roman yet.
Nope.
Man, nope, can't remember.
Jinder Mahal.
Oh, that's right. That led to the Punjabi match with him and Randy.
And Great Khali returned. Oh, we should have watched that. I know what our next retro review is. Anyways, let's get into the match. So, this near hour-long epic consisted of 5 men for Team Raw and 5 men for Team SmackDown. Raw was Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Chris Jericho, and Kevin Owens. SmackDown was Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, Shane O'Mac, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, with James Ellsworth as the mascot, quote unquote. Little fun facts about this: AJ Styles is the current WWE champion. He had joined the company that year, so that was pretty cool. Kevin Owens was the current Universal title, which is currently retired. It retired at WrestleMania 40. And then I'm pretty sure Chris Jericho is the current U.S. champion. They didn't mention it. Maybe he hadn't. I can't remember
I think
who
it was
was.
Roman.
Was it?
He held the belt up during his
then
entrance.
Jericho must have beaten him for it right after, because I remember Jericho was the U.S. champ leading into WrestleMania, and that's what the Jericho Kevin Owens feud was over. But holy crap, I forgot how good Chris Jericho was, guys. He was fantastic in this match.
Dude, he was fit. He could move fast. His
he was a
emotions.
cruiserweight. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Yeah, I was blown away. Like, wow.
He hit a lion salt that didn't look pathetic. It looked great.
Yeah, he wasn't yet a what is it, intergalactic bounty hunter just trying to find love.
Mm-hmm.
The Painmaker.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so the match starts off champion versus champion, AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. AJ Styles called himself the captain for SmackDown, and Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho were the co-captains of Raw. But this just kind of lock up. It's a nice little start to the match, and then immediately Kevin Owens tags in Chris Jericho, which huge pop for Jericho. Like, I forgot, when's the last time he was that over? What was it, early AEW?
No,
he wasn't over then. Not even.
I don't
Not
think
huge.
So.
Really, I would have expected maybe as like the first champ, people would have liked him. No,
He was a heel.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. But him and AJ have a little squabble. They fight for a little bit. And then Chris Jericho tags in Rollins. And I really like how in the beginning, AJ Styles is standing up to all of Raw. And then he gets Rollins. He's like, I'll tag in Ambrose. I don't care. By the way, Ambrose and Styles were feuding for the WWE title at this time. That's who AJ Styles beat, was Ambrose. And Ambrose and Rollins, they weren't in the ring for very much, because then immediately he just tags in Jericho again, which that rekindles the Jericho-Ambrose rivalry from earlier in the year. They had the coveted Ambrose Asylum match, which sucked. It was the only good thing, again, it was like a 30-minute match, and the only good thing about it was Jericho did a tack spot, or did a thumbtack bump. So it's kind of crazy seeing that they did a thumbtack bump in 2016, but it was really cool. And then
it was better than the Brock Lesnar Asylum match.
Yeah. At least they used weapons, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, there was a pretty good sequence where Ambrose went for his wacky line, and then Jericho countered with a code breaker, which Ambrose just kind of threw him off. And then Jericho was able to get him to the walls. I thought that was a really nice little sequence. And then this is where Dave kicks in, because Shane O'Mac tags in, and he goes in with them punches. Boom, 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 boom. Apparently, he waffled. He really hit some stiff punches on Jericho there, because that's why Jericho had to roll out the ring and kick the steps, because he was pissed, and he had to tell Shane to, like, calm down, man. Like, this isn't real, bro. This isn't real. So
I got
that
a
was pretty
question.
fun to watch.
I got a question. Why
Mhm.
did Ambrose owe Jericho $15,000?
I think he destroyed his jacket.
Yep. Yeah, it was the light up jacket. I remember
Yeah.
that one.
And he was like, "You know what? I'm surprised he remembered because it's WWE. No one remembers anything at that time." But yeah, it was a nice little callback. Again, lots of feuds all throughout this, like all over the place. And then Roman Reigns takes over and big booze. Big booze. Nobody likes Roman. This is like middle of what would they call it? Super, like not Super Roman, but Roman Winslow. It was just kind of
Yeah.
that where he would win. I remember being really scared because I was like, Roman's gonna win this. Roman's gonna win it all, but he didn't. We'll get to that. But it was nice to see Roman working over Shane. Shane was kind of the babyface in peril, which is odd, because he's Shane McMahon. And then Dean Ambrose tags in and Kevin Owens tags in right about the same time. And actually, they had a rivalry too at the beginning of the year for the Intercontinental title. Fun fact. And then things kind of it's like, when big tag matches go to chaos, all the men got in the ring. They started just beating each other up. Then they went outside. AJ hit a phenomenal forearm to the outside on Braun Strowman. That was pretty cool. And then everyone, as JR likes to put it, gathered up like hens for Kevin Owens to do a big senton. I thought that was a fun little spot. And then right after that, Strowman just kind of goes crazy. He's just chucking people. He's able to fight off AJ, Bray Wyatt, and Randy Orton all at once. Like he just pushes Randy Orton out of an RKO. Styles goes up for a phenomenal forearm, and he just pushes him over the top rope to the outside. Like Strowman goes off. He's kind of crazy. And then Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt team up to hold him onto the announce table. So Shane O'Mac can do a flying elbow all the way over. Can't believe Shane O'Mac inspired Logan Paul all those years ago. And then surprisingly, the first elimination is Dean Ambrose because he gets running power slam by Braun Strowman, and that's it. So I was kind of surprised that he was gone so soon. I kind of forgot about it, but I thought he just laid down on the side until his moment at the end, but that was way, way like 30 minutes in between. But that was pretty fun. And then, oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot. The way they got Strowman on the table was Orton hit a drive-by RKO on him. That was pretty baller. Like, Orton hit so many RKOs this match. It's crazy. And then everyone kind of went back into the ring. Once again, Team Raw is picking apart Shane McMahon, but as Braun Strowman's trying to get back into the ring, he's right at the rope. He's right at the apron at 8, and then you see him. He's struggling. 9. Oh, he can't get up. 10. He's countered out. Boom. What happened? He pulls James Ellsworth from under the ring. But that came full circle because that's how James Ellsworth came into WWE. He was a jobber for Braun Strowman, and then he killed him. He killed that man, guys.
Yeah, straight up. It was awful.
Mm-hmm. Just launched that. It was like Jungle Boy lawn darting Marco Stunt on Collision not too long ago. He just chucked him off the stage. Poor guy. But that was pretty fun. And then Jericho started working over Shane, which again, everyone's kind of working over Shane. But this is where we got that beautiful lion salt that we mentioned earlier, where I was like, damn, Jericho used to be really good. Like this wasn't, I know, like now looking back, it's 8 years ago, but like that's not that long ago in the grand scheme of things. So I thought that was great. Shane McMahon kicked out of a code breaker. What the hell, guys? What the hell? And then finally, SmackDown kind of starts getting back. AJ Styles tags in. He gets Jericho into a calf crusher, but Jericho pulls a page out of Brock Lesnar's book, even though it happened the next year, where to get out of the calf crusher, he just grabs AJ's head and smashes him into the mat. I thought that was a really good spot. I always love how people get out of that move like that. And then as Styles is working over Jericho again, Kevin Owens comes in with the list of Jericho.
I missed that gimmick.
And I like forgot about it, and then he started doing it. And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's why I loved Jericho during this time. His stupid gimmick." But that actually disqualifies Kevin Owens, which I forgot that happened. Like I know he attacked him with the list, but I forgot he got disqualified. And then right after that, Orton sneaks in, RKO's Jericho. So now we're looking at a 4-2. SmackDown's up. Are they gonna win? Who knows? But they just start fighting, and then of course they tag Shane McMahon in. Shane McMahon gets Roman Reigns in the corner. He's going for that. What do they call it? I can't remember
Coast to
it. Coast to
coast.
coast. Yeah, he goes for the coast to coast. No trash can this time. But Roman Reigns kips up and hits him with a gnarly spear, one of the best ever. But unfortunately, Shane gets a huge concussion from this. And so as Roman Reigns is going for the pin, he kind of kicks out, kind of just like rolls over. I don't think it was like a botch or anything. I mean,
Lights were on, but nobody was home.
yeah. So the ref made the right decision because I think Shane was going to get eliminated there anyways. And he just kind of went, all right, he's out. He's eliminated. Ding, ding, ding. So that was pretty nice. That they made the right call. You don't always see that, especially back then, but they were pretty serious. It's crazy how over Shane McMahon is and how hated Roman is. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely bizarre. And then Rollins kind of starts taking over the match. You can see him work over AJ Styles for a while, which is pretty fun to see. And then Roman and Rollins take Styles to the outside, and they're going to try to put Styles through an announce table. But then Styles, he's the WWE champion, for Christ's sake. He starts beating him up again. He starts standing tall. And who comes back but Dean Ambrose running out from the back, starts beating up Styles. And then like a bunch of referee and security start pulling Ambrose away. I like how they're just like pushing him over the barricade. Like, get out of here. We don't want you. Like, you think they'd like all hold him and drag him to the back, but they're like trying to push him. But then there's a huge pop when Roman and Rollins are like, we're just going to go start beating them up. So they start attacking all the security guards, throwing them all over the ring. And then we got a little Shield reunion, baby. So they do a triple power bomb from Styles, or they triple power bomb Styles to the announce table. I remember watching this live. This is the first time the Shield reunited. It felt special. It felt so special to watch, and like seeing it again, it still felt great.
Yeah, I was so after this, I just let it keep auto playing stuff, and it went to 2017, and then it went into like a retrospective of the Shield getting together. Are they working for CM Punk? Aren't they? And all that. Ryback was in there. I still owe you a video about him. I was like, oh my god, I forgot how rich their history really was. It's very cool.
Yeah, they were undefeated for a while, but this was your first, except for Dean Ambrose and I guess Seth Rollins, but this was your first like Shield outing ever, right, Dave?
Yeah, never watched them do anything together, and it felt special to me. Like I could feel the gravity of the moment, and it made me feel good.
They
They all
waited
had
2.5 years.
they all had the same, uh purpose at that moment.
Yeah.
It made sense.
I remember when they got back together a ways after that. They did a show in Portland. And they did the entrance through the crowd, and it was about one section over for me, and I was just like, "Holy shit, this is still fucking cool."
Yeah. Shield is great. But so they roll AJ Styles back in the ring. Now it's 2-on-2. They just eliminated him, which makes sense. Triple power bomb through the table. That would hurt a man. And then it's basically Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton taking on Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Luke Harper, the Exalted One himself, shows up because he's a part of the Wyatt family at this point. And man, he's great. I loved him. Like, he was so good in this, even though he was barely in it and kind of just took a couple bumps. But like whatever he did get a move in, that looks so crisp. I wish they did more with him.
Yeah.
But he comes out, he's assisting. Rollins goes up to the top rope to hit a frog splash on Bray Wyatt, but Orton comes in, RKO's him out of nowhere, pins him, gone. I remember watching this live. I was like, Roman's still going to win. He's going to come back. He's going to win. It's going to be awful. But Randy Orton takes a spear for Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt hits a fantastic Sister Abigail and pins Roman. The Wyatt family and SmackDown Live stand tall. So, what you guys? I know we kind of went over it beforehand, but after that, what y'all think of the match? Your MVP was Shane O'Mac, right, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
Love
mine was
him.
AJ. I loved AJ Styles in this match.
His first year was so good. Yeah,
How long
man.
how long had he been in WWE at that point? Under a year?
He
Since Royal
debuted.
Rumble.
Yeah, he debuted at the Royal Rumble that year, so that was that January. That was November. So, and he won the title, I think, in September.
Yeah.
So he won it pretty quickly.
Yeah. For me, I think it was just seeing Bray again. That was like that kind of tugged at my heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah, he didn't. I remember him wrestling a lot more. He didn't really like. I know he might have participated in a brawl or something, but he didn't really fight until the very end.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I thought what's funny is on I watched this match on YouTube and you can see like where people rewatch or replay, and the ending is by far the most replayed bit of this match. And I was like, oh, why is that? But it makes sense because this is kind of one of Bray Wyatt's biggest moments in
Yeah.
WWE. He pinned Roman Reigns clean at a Survivor Series, won the match for his team. I mean, and then a couple months later, he won the WWE title and had a WWE title match at WrestleMania. It sucked, but he still did it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I
All in all, I was very much sports entertained. It's funny every time I go back to watching, especially like older WWE. I'm always reminded that it's like, well, I love like the breakneck pace and the crazy like AEW sets up. Also, like just how they slow it down a little and tell more stories. Let the space in between moves tell the stories a little more. And I was
mhm,
like, I really like this style too. Like I'm such a fan of like all sides of the wrestling buffet, if you will.
yeah. As someone who was watching back then, and I mean, rewatching this match now, I felt very rewarded because it was like, oh, I remember all these feuds. They're all
Yeah,
great.
yeah. And it held
So,
up.
hmm
yeah. I really liked Bray Wyatt trying to control Braun Strowman. He goes to choke Jericho, but then he grabs Wyatt too. That was nice. I really liked it.
yeah.
Really loved the James Ellsworth holding Braun Strowman and then getting thrown off the stage onto a table for his trouble. That really made me laugh. Um, so was the Dirty Deeds the paradigm shift?
I think the paradigm shift, he kind of lifts him up a little bit. Dirty Deeds is just kind of a DDT where he
Yeah, it's
touches their
just a
arm.
straight underhook DDT.
Hmm
Okay. The Death Rider's the lift one.
Yeah, that's the one where he gets some like that's when he goes like head first, like drive.
Yeah.
It's more of a driver.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I like Kevin Owens doing that senton onto the pile. That was really fun. Clearly that's not something he does all the time, right?
Not
Every
all
pay
the
per view
time.
he does something nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one when he ran up that weird thing in the WrestleMania and did the senton like off the wall. That was
Oh yeah.
insane.
That was pretty good. That was WrestleMania 36, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Man, yeah, Shane McMahon, that elbow drop was, dude, that was really cool. And you got to have some balls to do
right.
something like that. That could go really wrong.
Especially a
Um,
dude that's not a doesn't do it full time. Like he's just a once in an every now and then attraction. It's like, how's he
Hmm
still doing this? He was doing this what early 2000s.
Yeah.
16 years later, he's still doing it.
Yeah. I think this is probably the last good Shane McMahon match. And then it kind of all goes downhill from there. There was a random ass Extreme Rules match where it was Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon. That match was pretty good. And it was also like remarkable because it was 2019 and it was like, wow, a good Undertaker match. Crazy. But I didn't watch the pay-per-view, but I went back and watched that match. So it was pretty fun. Um but little Survivor Series trivia for Dave. In 2014, one of your favorite wrestlers debuted in WWE. Do you remember who it was? In Survivor
um,
Series.
um, Favorite wrestlers. Uh, Drawing a blank.
It was Sting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn, I
Yep.
forgot. Oh,
Because
he was there. Yeah.
that was the 5-on-5 match for that year. That was before the brand split. So it was Team Cena versus Team Authority. Let's see if I can remember the participants. Okay, there's a lot. It was John Cena, Dolph Ziggler, Big Show, Eric Rowan, and Ryback. Speak of the devil.
Ooh.
Versus Seth Rollins, Kane, Randy Orton. No, it was Rusev, Mark Henry, and Luke Harper. Okay, yeah, I remember that. That match was basically to get the Authority out of WWE, and he led Dolph Ziggler to victory because Triple H and Seth Rollins were beating him up, and then he debuted and beat them up, and then Dolph Ziggler won.
Cool.
Awesome. I did read too that Shane McMahon was a replacement for Baron Corbin, who got hurt, yet he showed up to interfere in the cruiserweight match, appearing to be not injured. So
Yeah,
thought that was kind of neat.
I looked it up on Wikipedia before we started, and I read about that. It was like a kayfabe injury, so he was never injured. I think they just wanted Shane McMahon on the, which is so odd. All
I'm
right, a
glad they
little bit
did.
more. Yeah, more trivia. Okay, who was the general manager for Raw, and who was the general manager of SmackDown when this happened? Because Stephanie McMahon was the commissioner of Raw, and Shane McMahon was the commissioner of SmackDown.
Oh,
So
who are
do
the
you guys
Mick,
remember?
Mick Foley, right?
Mick Foley was the general manager of
yeah.
Raw.
Was it Teddy Long?
No,
Oh, Daniel Bryan.
it was
That's
Daniel Bryan
right.
because they mentioned it, and I
Yeah.
completely forgot about it. I was like, "Holy crap!" Daniel Bryan was I remember it now, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. They're trying to keep him active. And that was like after the injuries. And yeah.
because he was like, and then it got to a point where he was like, "I'm getting doctors that say I'm cleared. Your doctor won't clear me. I'm just gonna go leave and wrestle elsewhere." They were like, "Okay, fine, you can stay."
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. They had him doing the talking smack for a while. And
That's where the Miz segment happened.
yeah, with
You ever
Renee.
you ever hear about the original plan for that? That was pretty interesting. Where like, I think Daniel Bryan was supposed to punch the Miz, like that was what they were planned to do. Like
Yeah.
the Miz starts like going off on Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan was supposed to punch him and like just walk off. But they were like, oh no, Daniel Bryan just not saying anything and then walking off was so much more powerful, and
Uh huh.
it let Miz shine.
Yeah.
So speaking of the
Cool.
Miz, did you hear he got in A&E documentary?
Oh, no way. Good for him. I'm sorry. People love him or hate him. You can only wish for that career.
Yeah. I don't love him, but I respect him.
Yeah.
I think he's had a rough career and he's been hated on for a while, but especially now I think he's earned his spot where sure he's not going to main event, but he can still put on a pretty decent match. I mean,
Yeah.
he was in pretty good matches with Gunther, so that was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. No, like, yeah, that was insane. Like he basically went face for that because people were just like, "Oh God, no, don't quit it! Oh God, that sucks."
Quit killing the Miz.
I'm kind of curious. How did Randy Orton have the falling out with the Wyatt family? How'd that go down?
He's Randy Orton. He turns on everyone.
Yeah,
I think it was because Bray Wyatt won the title and Orton won the Rumble. So they were like, who's he going to pick? Is he going to go after Goldberg, who was the Universal title or Universal champion at that time? But then he turned on them or turned on the Wyatt because Orton always does that.
yeah.
Gotcha. I'm curious. Between all the participants on the Raw and SmackDown teams, apart from Jericho and Ambrose, who out of these guys would be most likely to go to AEW next?
I'm going to say not Roman, not Seth. They're lifers.
Yeah.
Not Styles at this point. I think he's
Yeah, he's gonna do a one more apparently amazing run. He had a really good match the other week, I heard.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, I hope so. Um,
I think KO.
mm, I think it would depend on like Sami Zayn. The problem with
Mhm.
that is I know Triple H really likes Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and they make a lot of money in WWE, but I think they're kind of like regarded very highly in WWE, especially now with Triple H at charge, because you can always tell who the company likes by who they put with the celebrities or who they put with the old timers.
Yeah.
So I always go back to WrestleMania 38. Who got to wrestle Steve Austin in his last match? Kevin Owens. Who got to wrestle Johnny Knoxville? Sami Zayn. So I think if Sami Zayn left and went to AEW, Kevin Owens would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe Braun Strowman, but big men don't really do well in AEW. So maybe he's smart enough to see that and be like, who am I forget? Shane McMahon. Why?
Yeah.
Like we're all forgetting about
Yeah.
Shane McMahon, but he is the most, which is so weird. But it's Shane McMahon.
Yeah, yeah. I'm all for it. After this match, I'm a diehard Shane O'Mac fan. Like
Mm-hmm.
what he did made me the happiest.
Yeah, you should go back. You should watch the 2022 Rumble because Shane McMahon was in it. Oh, there's so much funny stuff about that Rumble, and I've never even watched it. I just know everyone hates it. But essentially, Shane McMahon produced the Rumble, like he was the one backstage producing it, and that's why he was booked so dominantly in it. Um, so he was 28, Orton was 29, and Lesnar was 30. But it was supposed to be the other way around, where McMahon was 29 and Orton was 28. And then they were getting ready to go, and Orton was just like, "I'm not going out before you. You're going out first." And Shane McMahon was like, okay, all right, whatever." Oh, it's so funny.
Did they like play the wrong music or
No, I think
okay?
Randy Orton. I think they talked about it maybe 5 minutes before. I don't know exactly, but it's just funny how Orton was just like, "I'm not going out. You're going out."
I love it. Yeah, it was cool seeing Jericho and Dean Ambrose uh
Not the
locking it
same
up in the
person.
ring.
He
Yeah,
transformed himself.
yeah, yeah. Totally different. Man, yeah, it was really neat. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it was really good. Um, are they like doing anything this cool now? Like nowadays? Like, is it
They do
on this
war
level?
games. They do war games. Um, Last year's war games was good. It wasn't like fantastic or anything, but it was good. Um, and I was just kind of like, man, I do kind of wish they had like one 5-on-5 elimination match for
Yeah.
Survivor Series, but the problem with it is they would force it, and so it wouldn't like feel good. This is the only time where it was like, brand supremacy. No one cares about Raw and SmackDown. No one really wanted one side to win. It was just 10 excellent wrestlers that had an excellent match.
Yeah.
So that's why this match lives on in my mind. And I think this is like one of the only good 5-on-5 elimination matches, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, there weren't many. But like the ones that stuck out in my mind were super gimmicky and hokey because it was like the first few.
Yeah.
And that was more like, oh, that's weird because it's like watching like Doink the Clown do something like, oh, this is terrible, but I still kind of like it.
Yeah. Maybe they'll do something cool. I think for War Games this year, they're going to do a lot of bloodline stuff. So it'll probably be like Roman and the Usos versus Solo Sikoa's current crop of people. So that could be fun.
Yeah, Jacob Fatu is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear
Uh,
Stephanie Becker already debuted in WWE?
Yeah, huh?
mhm.
The I think it's a house show, but it was the Mexican Super Show or Mexico Super Show. So pretty cool. You know, she's not super popular on this podcast right now, but news is
Yeah.
news, brother. News is
Yep.
news.
It says here that this Survivor Series was, let's see, it was the 30th Survivor Series and the first to take place in Canada since 1997. It's
What
crazy.
happened at the 1997 Survivor Series? Do you know, Dave?
Is it, man, something with Bret Hart?
It was the Montreal
Yeah,
Screwjob.
that was the most
Really?
infamous thing to happen in wrestling in Canada.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Um, Man, it says here Goldberg hadn't wrestled in 12 years
Mm-hmm.
for this
Yeah.
match and beat Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a string where the only reason certain people were either returning or going into WWE was because of 2K, the people who developed their games, because they were like, "Hey, we want Goldberg in the game. Can you shore up your relationship with him?" I think they did that with Sting. I think they did that with a lot of people, so it's kind of funny. But I remember Goldberg coming back because they were essentially just like Goldberg returns to Raw, and it's hyped up for a while. And then he came back and he basically, I think he called out Brock Lesnar and he got like, it was a really good promo. I think he was like, it was always who's next, but now it's who's last. And so it was like, ooh. And then, he came back and people were like, the last Goldberg Lesnar match sucked. So this one's going to suck. But Goldberg just killed him.
Yeah. It was like 90 seconds. It was amazing.
I literally remember the moves. Brock Lesnar pushed him into the corner. Goldberg pushed him back. Spear, jackhammer, done.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I watched it and I was watching Steven Larson's live reactions to it. And like that Steph's gift, they were actually just talking about it on their last episode. Where they
Really?
like for like 90 seconds, just nothing. They couldn't say anything. They're like, what just happened?
Well, this was that monster Brock Lesnar run that he was on after he beat the streak at WrestleMania 30 and then he went away and then he squashed John Cena at SummerSlam and then like no one had really beaten him.
Yeah. Yeah. Then their follow up at WrestleMania was whew.
It was a
It
good
was
match.
it was like a 2K match where they had all their finishers active right at the beginning. It was just
Mm-hmm.
bomb after bomb for 8 minutes and then just done. I was like, it was everything the match needed to be.
I think it was 5 minutes. Like it was really short, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's like a spear through the thing. Like, yeah, they just hit everything with whatever they had and called it a day. It was perfect.
Love it. Chad, you want to talk a little bit about Prestige?
Oh hell yeah!
Combat Clash?
That was a fun show. Any match on that show could have been a main event. It was perfect.
Every single one, dude. Athena beat Masha Slamovich with one leg. Apparently, Athena's hurt.
Aw.
Yeah, she's wearing a boot the whole time.
Yeah, and there was a ref bump, and she hit Masha with the boot, picked up the win. That was a great match. Shelton Benjamin versus Mike Santana. Dude,
How was
what
that?
the F? Dude, insane.
Fantastic. Man, Santana got jacked.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, put on a lot of muscle. Alex Shelley versus Chris Sabin. Woo!
Wow. That was like watching a Zack
Unbelievable.
Sabre Jr. match. They just went like
Really?
all mat wrestling. It was amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was insane. Let's see. Danhausen versus Drexel.
It was everything you
That
wanted
was
that match to be.
yeah. And the main event though, that was a
The paper
bloody
cut through there to Danhausen.
Yep. Yep.
What
Drexel
was
kissed him after the match.
Aw. I take it Drexel won because he's on his retirement tour,
He
right?
did not.
He did
He
not.
did not.
Wow. What was the
Yeah.
main event?
Evil Uno versus Allen Angels
In a
for
street
the
fight.
Prestige street fight.
That's
It was
cool.
insane.
Yeah, Evil Uno came out with a Mick Foley white shirt and a tie and a garbage can full of weapons.
That's
Very,
fun.
very Mick Foley tribute heavy. It was great. And he took Brian Zane's head off.
Yeah, I heard he super kicked him.
That was amazing.
And they got to work in through the match. At one point, he loses his shoe, and then at one point, he
Yeah, the
loses his
sock comes
sock,
off, so he
and
goes
whoop,
for Mr. Sacco.
yep,
That's
it
pretty
was
fun.
great. It was good. Man, I wanted Evil Uno to take that belt bad. I was like, man, this might be time, but nope.
Yeah.
Alan, Alan asshole is what we chant at the shows.
Mhm.
He won, but yeah, man, that was such a good match. Uh, yeah, man, good show. It was a pretty big crowd. It looked good on YouTube. The production value was really good. It
Mhm.
sounded good, looked good. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Mira, she's gonna be
Yeah,
so
she called out Jordan
popular.
Grace for Roseland 9. Whew.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Kylie Ray, love her. She's great. Yeah, good show. I really enjoyed it. Jaden won the 6-man scramble.
Yeah.
Uh
Leah Rush as the Blackheart put on an amazing match yet again.
yeah. Do you know who Amazing Red is, Chandler?
I've heard of them. I
I
don't really
guess
know.
he's like not Sasha Banks anymore, but Monet's like cousin or something. But yeah, also fantastic wrestler. They put on a banger. Then Jaden came out at the end to help save the day while they are doing weird voodoo sports entertainment stuff.
Yep. Leo Rush put his heart necklace on the ref and the ref just stopped.
Yeah,
That's funny.
It was good. Yeah, I love Prestige. Good Lord. Very thankful to have them coming into town every month or two. And we keep saying it. We got to check out DOA. Like they're a little cheaper, a little more low key. A lot of the prestige people wrestle there too. And Chad,
yeah,
you kind of have a friend of a friend of a friend who knows the people who put it on, right?
yeah. My coworker of mine, he frequents those shows, and he says if we ever want to try as one of our challenges getting chopped, he might be able to help get it arranged.
That'd be fun.
I'll do it, man. I would
Mhm.
love to get chopped. Um, yeah, cool. Yeah, it was fun. Fun show. A lot of people, the biggest crowd they've ever had. That was their record on attendance. So yeah, good job, Prestige. Good stuff. And then we got Roseland 9 coming up. I'm going to that for sure.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, Jordan Graves, Dijak will be there. Yeah, good stuff.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Everyone make sure to check out Prestige. I couldn't go, unfortunately, but again, I went to one show. I think it was Roseland 8, right? Was that the one I
Yep.
went to? That was fantastic. Ton of fun. If you're in the Portland area, if you're kind of close to that, it's great night of wrestling fun.
Yeah, and you're always shocked at who shows up too. Like every now and then, there's just crazy run-ins. Our first show was the one when Athena ran in right before her
Hmm.
infamous chair thing that went viral on YouTube.
We had
Yeah,
a
against Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah,
we had a triple threat for the Prestige title at the show we went to, and then right as it was about to start, they were like, it's gonna be a 4-way, and then they added Nick Wayne, which was pretty cool.
yeah. Oh, he took a beating.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, good stuff, man. Damn, I love wrestling. Cool, yeah. I guess everyone out there should do us a big favor while we're thinking about it. Go ahead and elbow drop that like button.
Somebody should probably do the thing with power bomb the subscribe button.
And leave us a comment down below what you think about Prestige, Survivor Series, Dynamite, Collision, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Um, do you believe in Joe Hendry? All
Don't
that we
say
want to
his
know.
name.
Cool. All right. Yeah, that was our third retro view. Good job, gentlemen. That was
Yeah.
fun.
Next up will be Chad's choice. Ooh.
Ooh, yeah. So
You got
I have to rethink it now that we're doing just matches and not whole shows. I gotta do some research.
yeah, I gotta think of
Who's gonna stick
mine
with
too.
NXT? Black and Gold NXT. I think that's kind of one of my favorite unsung heroes of when I was getting back into wrestling. Was after a while that was the show I wouldn't miss.
That'd be a
Yeah.
fun one.
Yeah.
It's a period of wrestling. I mean, I was watching WWE. I wasn't really watching NXT, so that'd be cool.
Yeah, my gut tells me something WCW, but man, I don't know.
There's a lot
I
to
don't
mine for
know.
that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But my gut tells me Goldberg Hogan at the Georgia Dome, the pay-per-view they gave away for free.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to think about that. Let's hopefully Collision will get a little better. I mean, we did this instead of Collision, just so everyone knows, because it was pre-taped. Yeah, this might be our thing when they pre-tape Collision.
Well, I looked at the main event. You could remember it if you watched your Dynamite review, but I looked at the main event and it was the Kingdom versus Orange Cassidy and Kyle O'Reilly, and I was like, we can skip it. There's nothing. I think the only thing important that happened was the Bang Bang Gang was stripped of their titles, because Jay White's injured. So it's going to be the Bang Bang Gang versus the Patriarchy for the vacant trios titles.
Orange Cassidy also hit Trent with a wrench,
Ooh,
riding him off TV. He is actually hurt again, Trent.
Oh,
poor guy.
So, and he was about to get pushed too.
Really?
ooh.
Yep. Yeah, that happened. But
Is that
yeah.
why they drastically recruited Roosh to just fill that void?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, well, maybe
feel
they'll
like
push Roosh.
I feel like that was an upgrade though. Like no Trent. Well, why not Roosh?
Yeah, man, I still have some love for Trent, even though he never really got the push he deserved. I think when it happens, it'll be nice.
Yeah.
True dat.
I've been hearing some weird things in my headphones. I think they're coming from the audio realm. Do you know anything about
Ooh.
that, Chad?
Yeah, it's a spooky place where kind of like how you're watching us on YouTube and you can hear us. Close your eyes. All right, that's the audio realm. Okay, that's kind of lame actually. But no, if you're on the go, commuting to work, or maybe trying to fall asleep and you'd rather listen to us, you can check us out in podcast form on places such as Apple, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon, and anywhere else all major audio podcasts are found. Ooh, it's magic to me. I hit buttons and it does things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just look up "Great Wrestling Podcast" for the first one that always comes up.
Yeah. I spent a lot of money on that SEO optimization.
Awesome. All right. Well, anything else?
Scott, looking forward to Dynamite. Should be a fun one.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Dynamite 250.
Yeah. Any big matches? I can't even remember. It feels like
Swerve and Okada,
pass.
MJF
Osprey.
and Osprey.
Yeah.
That'll be all right.
It might be a 2.25-star match if they're lucky.
Shit, are they doing that Thunder Rosa Deanna Purrazzo lumberjack match, I think?
Are they?
I think so.
Oh.
Let's look it
To
up.
the Lucky Lou, AEW.
Sure that didn't already happen on Rampage?
Oh
Well,
God,
everything
I hope
happens on
not.
Rampage now because it's really important.
Rampage.
So there's TV time with Chris Jericho, Mercedes Moné versus Nyla Rose for the TBS
Oh,
Championship, and Mariah
okay.
May speaks. Because that was the biggest thing. I was like, yeah. Swerve Okada, MJF Osprey. Please have Mariah May on the show. Please.
I did hear that RJ City writes most of that storyline.
Oh, cool.
Really?
Yep. Yep.
Well,
And
that's funny. I remember during her debut, he was working a lot with her. That's cool.
Mhm.
yeah, and Jennifer Pepperman obviously does all of
Okay.
Mercedes stuff, which man, I don't know. I don't know if they got their money's worth with her or
Their
Monet.
Monet's worth.
Oh,
Oh,
I mean, they're booking her opponents pretty well because Willow was cool, Stephanie Vaquer was cool, and Britt Baker's pretty cool. So if your objective is to make all her opponents look better, you're doing great.
yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with what they're doing with the women's division.
Yeah.
I'm content.
Yeah, more than one excellent story. It's
Yeah,
compelling.
I would like someone else to have the TBS title, but just about everything else is pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe Brit's the one.
Hopefully.
Statlander, Willow's a really great story. Britt Baker, Monet, that's super good. I love that. And then
I hope Willow and Statlander isn't on the 0 hour for All In. I hope it's just on the card.
Right?
Like, please.
They deserve it.
Uh-huh.
yeah, they both put in a lot of hard work. Oh, Willow won the vacant CMLL Women's World Championship.
Hey,
Hell
good
yeah.
for her.
Stephanie Vaquer had to drop.
Good for her.
Yeah, yeah. It was a triple threat, I believe, and a lot of people thought the one female wrestler from CMLL was gonna win it, but she didn't. So
Cool.
yeah,
Ah, yay.
yeah. Hopefully she'll get to flaunt that thing around AEW because she didn't win the Owen. But yeah, that's cool. I like Willow. I want her to do great things.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that just about does it, huh, gentlemen?
Do the
All
thing.
right.
Do the thing.
Well, real quick, thank you everyone out there for joining. Yeah, thank you, Chandler. Thank you, Chad. It's been a
Thanks,
been a good
Dave.
Thank you,
Good,
Dave.
been a fun little detour from our normal podcast, and yeah, thank you for supporting Grapple-Sauce. Woo! All right, now I'm gonna do the thing. Bye.
Peace.
Bye-bye.